Hey there, thanks for joining me again. Today we're going to be making a spiced coconut spinach or silverbeet, which is a really delicious way to add greens to a meal as a side dish. And it's got some beautiful Indian spices through it and really lovely balance of flavours. So I've got a beautiful big bunch of silverbeet here. You can use the white stemmed variety or the rainbow charred variety is really lovely in this dish too because it has gorgeous colour. First thing we're going to do is toast off a little bit of coconut. So toasting coconut really enhances the flavour. We don't need a lot to just really add a beautiful element to this dish. So just put it into a pan over a medium heat and stir it until you start to get a bit of a golden brown colour, and then take it out of the pan. You don't want to leave it in the pan once you've turned off the heat, because the residual heat in the pan will continue to cook it and you end up with burnt coconut, not toasted. Okay, this is looking good. Oh, and it smells amazing. Just going to pop that back into the bowl. And we'll set that aside for later. Okay, now let's prepare our silverbeet. So we want to separate the leafy part from the stems. We are going to use the stems. So an easy way to do this is just to fold the leaves in half and then run the knife along the outside. Put the leaves in a bowl. It's important to make sure you give your silverbeet a really good wash, or your spinach, whichever you're using, because little bugs can hide in the curls of the leaves. And we don't want to be eating them. And then I'm just going to trim off the cut ends of the silverbeet and then finely dice it. And our leaves, we just want to chop them and have them ready. I'm just going to pile them up into a bit of a bunch. Give a little roll. It can be pretty rough, you don't need to be too fussy. Now we're ready to prepare our onions and our shallots. Now, sometimes when we talk about shallots, people think of spring onions. When I talk about shallots, I'm talking about these things. A golden shallot, which is different to a brown onion. You'll find that when we open them up, they've got a kind of purple colour inside. And I do have to say they're pretty nasty on the eyes as well. So get ready to watch me cry. So you can see inside they've got this kind of purpley colour. So you want to try and chop the dice pretty small, because we are going to put it into a mortar and pestle and make a paste with the garlic and a little pinch of salt. So the smaller the chop you start with, the easier it will be to break that down. And we want a couple of cloves of garlic as well. Give them a chop and then add them to the mortar and pestle. We're also going to put into here just a little pinch of salt, because that will help with the process of breaking it down. Just give it a little smash until we've got a nice paste. Okay, this is looking nice and mushy and my eyes are stinging. Okay, ignoring my teary eyes, let's get started. So heat a wok or a large fry pan to a medium heat. And first of all, we're going to toast off some cumin seeds and some yellow mustard seeds. Okay, once you can smell the spices starting to get really fragrant, we can add a little splash of water and then we'll bring in our shallot and garlic paste. There it goes. Get ready to cry again at this point too. And I'll just cook it down for a couple of minutes. Add the chili flakes and another splash of water if it needs it. Okay, that's starting to look nice and softened now. So let's add the stems. Let them cook down for a minute and we'll juice some lemon. The recipe says juice of half a lemon, but you're going to have to use your own best judgment with this because lemons come in all different sizes and all different levels of juiciness. I'm going to juice the whole thing. You want to make sure you're really happy with how well the stems are cooked before we bring in the leaves, because they're only going to be in the pan for a moment, just enough to wilt and soften and become a really bright, vibrant green colour. Keep adding just another little splash of water as it's needed until you're happy that the stems are well done. Okay, when you're happy that they're softened enough that they're going to be enjoyable to eat, so you can have a little taste to check, bring in your greens, your chopped leaves, and we really just want to give these a moment in the pan, as I said before, to wilt and soften. We don't want to cook them past that really bright green colour. So green vegetables like silver beet and spinach, even broccoli beans, as you apply heat to them, they go through this brightening process where they get really, really bright green. But if you take it too long, they're going to move over into that browner kind of colour, and also the flavour is going to be worse after that point. So it's really important to take it off the heat when it's at its best. Okay, you can see how that huge big pile of silverbeet has broken down into not very much at all. We're going to bring in our lemon juice. Another sprinkle of salt. Stir that through. And then the very last step is to sprinkle through our coconut. So I'm going to turn it off the heat. And in comes our coconut. I'm going to save a little bit to garnish with as well. Just smells so good when that coconut comes in. We've got the lemon wafting up and the gorgeous sweetness of the coconut. It smells so good. A little bit of coconut to finish. And there you have a really beautiful spiced coconut spinach.